just saw The Beast, or Beast. I believe it is a French film. A lot of it is in French, but there's also a good chunk of it in English. And I never remember the actress's name, but she's been in so much. She's been in, I believe it was that one Wes Anderson movie, and I've just seen her in a lot of things. She's really, really great. And the lead actor is the guy that I saw in 1917, the British actor. And I want to look up some things. Just apologies from the get-go. There's going to be some background noise because I'm driving, and I'm driving to set, and I need to be there by a certain time. And I want to review this while it's fresh, because whenever I try to review things when it's been too long, it's too difficult for me to remember. So, what's really interesting is I want to look up some things about kind of like the meaning. I just love films that make me think, and it definitely made me think, and it definitely shook me up a little bit. I feel like there was lots of, I'm going to do my best to not have spoilers, but I really can't promise anything because it's a little disjointed how my mind is understanding it. So I'm going to do my best. So I feel like it made a lot of points about, there was all these themes regarding, are we going to choose love or are we going to choose fear? And like past life regressions and past lives and AI and becoming obsolete as humans and AI taking over, humans' jobs, and will it get to a point where AI and our society have conditioned ourselves to only feel the good so that any sort of extreme emotion we cannot not feel it. And the best way for me to describe it is it almost felt like an A story and a B story and a C story. And the A story was in present, and she was dealing with having extreme emotions and not being very happy, and it feels like that was in the future. They talked about like some sort of catastrophic thing happening. I believe they said it was 2044, and unemployment was at like 67% because AI has taken over everything. But it wasn't like AI is taking over everything, like, AI is murdering people. It was like society was normal. And so she started to do this procedure. It almost reminded me a little bit of like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, to deal with some of these, like, they called it like repurification, or like purifying your DNA, like almost like healing like generational like wounds and things that have happened in the past, which I thought was very interesting. And she was kind of resistant towards doing it, but she kept coming back to this moment where she kept coming back to this one man and this one relationship. So they showed this relationship playing out in the past, and they showed this relationship playing out in the present, and they showed this relationship playing out in this more modern version where she was this model, and all versions had some sort of doll and all these like key Easter egg type things, touchstones, if you will, that kept tying it back to her original story. So I thought it was really interesting. The future, more modern version, the lead guy playing this kind of like incel character, and like the possibility of like if he had like come back to her apartment and they had been intimate or whatever, like that he may not have killed her, like maybe that would have changed the trajectory of his life. I thought was really interesting. I also really thought he played it well. Like, I don't think he didn't do it in a way where I felt like he was like putting on something, if that makes sense. Yes. So anyway, very, very interesting. That's really all I can say about it. I think what I got from the ending, if I'm interpreting this correctly, if it's even meant to be interpreted in one specific way, is that the love of her life, this guy that kept coming to her and all these different things, like once she finally like stopped being afraid, and I don't know if she ever did stop being afraid, then she was like, oh, well, I choose him and we can be together like now. But I guess there's like was a lot of attachment to her being with him. Basically, it seems like he did the purification process, and now he's this like numb human, or he's become AI, or become this kind of robot. Um, so in the ending, it's kind of like this horror of what she can not, um, like she can never be with him, or like now that she finally is able to like choose him, like he's different, or she's lost him. I'm still not quite clear. Definitely interesting, very visually interesting, really great performances. If you are a film buff and you just like having your mind stimulated and questioning things and trying to understand things, and if you like things that are non-linear and not perfectly understandable and a little bit abstract, I think that you'd like it. But if you are probably the average moviegoer going and wanting like things that make perfect sense and will leave everything all tied up in a bow where you don't experience any sort of cognitive dissonance, then you probably wouldn't like